Hey guys, ALine Mask here, and this is just a little energy drink I'm being sponsored called Dubby. This is my personal favorite, Galaxy Grenade. This is for one of those, for gamers with a little bit of energy boost. I recommend trying Dubby. Use the code below or use MASK. Use code MASK526 and you get 5% off of your order. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is ALine Mask.
And the cat.
And monkey.
And Ender.
And in today's episode, we're going to talk about a few things. And things might get serious. I just want to give everyone a heads up that this is going to be a serious episode. Of course, we'll throw in some jokes, but this is just like a little FYI in case we might get any sensitivity, I want to say. But first things first, we're going to talk about furries. Should furry people exist? We'll let the cat and monkey go.
Well, I mean, furries is like, it all depends. I don't know what to think about, like, furries. It's just like,
well, how about this? I'll go first. Let me go first.
Go for it.
Okay, here's my opinion about furry people. To me, they're a bit odd. I'll admit that. They are a bit odd, but then again, who isn't odd? It doesn't matter if you're a furry, a goth, a normal, a Christian. Every single person is a bit odd, no matter who they are.
Mm-hmm.
So my thoughts about furry people is that they're just people. I don't really think anything bad about them. But at the same time, you do get some of those who have a bad reputation.
Yeah, pretty much with any sort of, like, niche group, there's gonna be, like, the cool people that just, like, do their shit and move on with their lives, but there's also gonna be the fucking weirdos, like...
Yeah. It's like, you have, like, groups and all stuff, like, how, like, in school you always have, like, the jocks, the weirdos, all that kind of stuff. That's, like, with us, with, like, community. You have furries, you have, like, emos, you have, like, negos, you have all these kind of people and all that stuff, and it's like, okay, well, everyone has their own kind of category. They want to, like, go where they want to be, all that stuff. Like, me personally, I'm a neko. I like ears, I like tails, all that kind of stuff. I also
like the kitty cat stuff?
I like the kitty cat stuff. I like the dog stuff. I also want to put on a furry suit, so I really don't see the problem of me saying, like, I hate furries. No, I like furries. I want to hug them,
Yeah.
Be what you want to be. If you want to dress up as an animal, go ahead.
But, or what were you going to say?
Oh, I was gonna say, the way I see most things is, as long as you're not hurting anybody, do what you want. Life is short, man. Like...
That's what I want to... That's the thing, too. Like, I want to say, like, yes, there are some freaks that makes the furry community a bad thing, such as, you get some... For example, there's actually a YouTube channel called Zooier Than Now, or Zooier Than Thou, and honestly, that YouTube channel is literally about a group of guys having sex with animals. And that's what's giving the furry community a bad reputation, is people like that. And it's like, you kind of understand why there's a group of people that says, no, fucking furries are bad, fucking furries should die. And it's like, okay, I understand that you think that, but you should know, not every single one of them is like that.
Yeah.
it's one of those things. Being a furry is just that, being a furry. It's not good nor bad. It's just who you are, I would say. So when you ask me, like, do you, like, think furries should exist? Like,
It's like
what you do as a furry. If you use, like, because I know they, like, dress up as, like, costumes of animals and whatnot.
some of them actually will combine like two animals. Like,
yeah.
I didn't know you could actually do that.
Yeah, you can any type of animal. You can do like dogs, cats, wolves,
right.
anything like that. You can do like live, like land creatures, water creatures. You can mix breed, all that stuff to make like your own version and stuff like.
Like I've seen like some like furry people that one of them was dressed like a puppy dragon. I was like, damn, how the fuck does that work? But
Damn, they
like,
a furry industry.
it's like, how does that work?
You just watch a dog and a dragon have sex.
Well, not just that, but it's like, they have like the body of a dog, but a tail of a dragon, and the spikes like a dragon have.
But that's like mixed breed. You're like trying to do it like, what is it, like the weird thing where you have like
it's
a
like
chart.
those animals that are like I forget like half animals that people draw in like fantasies and shit, like centaur or minotaur or something like.
Yeah, like a half human with like
Yakman or whatever. Yeah, it's the same shit, I think.
Yeah, I think
Except
so
in animal form, you combine two animals, like a liger.
Like, what's a liger?
It's a lion tiger.
Have you seen Napoleon?
I don't know if you know, but ligers are real.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Like,
are
aren't they extinct?
No. So basically, with any sort of like mixed species animal like that, they're sterile. They can't breed. So there's a very, very limited amount of them, but they're still there.
They're still alive. They're not dead.
So, real quick before we continue up, I do want to apologize in advance that me and Ender, we are actually sharing one mic. So if it sounds like one of us is a bit off or we're too far, it's because we're sharing one mic.
Yeah, we're sharing a mic. So if like one of us is being too quiet, that's me. Just know that.
I think you're good. I think me personally, you're closer to the mic than I am.
No, I'm not. I'm like here. You're here. The mic's here.
But okay, so continuing. When it comes to the furry community, believe it or not, I actually hooked up with a furry once, and
I'm actually friends with a lot of furries.
So I don't know if you guys know this, but a full costume is costs like $15,000.
Oh yeah, they're expensive.
They
I
are
know that.
very expensive.
Yeah, and like, do you guys know why? I'm still a little confused. Why is it that much?
Well,
They take a lot to make.
They do take.
It takes a
while
lot to make, but is it because it takes a while to make, or is it because the amount of fur they have to use?
I think it's like the material that you use when you're trying to make a furry suit, because I've seen a lot of furry suits that can go from around maybe like 800 to almost like
20 grand.
like 20 grand
Yeah.
of like around that much. And it could either be like the material, how they make it, like what do they put on it that adds more to it, I guess it just depends on like the material that they use, because be totally honest, I mean, fur is actually quite expensive, because I bought fur and that was like around like $30-$40.
But
And
why? Look, you just wait for this one to start shedding.
he sheds every day, like it gets all over your like clothes and everything.
Exactly.
Like,
I got some fur on my shirt right now, actually.
I don't want him to touch my clothes.
So,
Just
like
cover yourself
specific
in them.
stores where you buy them, or do like people like hand make them?
I think you have to
You
order them
have
online.
to hand
huh?
make it.
Yeah, most people that at least the good, it's gonna be like with any hobby. There's gonna be like the higher end version of the things, and then there's gonna be like the shitty cheap versions.
Yeah,
Like-
well, it depends, because like you can get it from a store or anything like that. So if it's like you got it from Walmart, it might be a lot cheaper. But if you get it somewhere like really expensive, like offline, like Amazon or something, it's gonna cost more because you got it somewhere and you have to use it and make it.
Like the person I was just saying, like the furry that I hook up with, she only had the head and paws.
Which can,
That cost like $2,000.
yeah, which can roughly go around like $200-$300. Or you can just get a head like I want, which is around like $800. And that's like full accessories, ears, tail, horns, makeup all done, like detail wise. That's a lot of money.
And I didn't know this until she told me, but like, if anyone is wondering how it's done, or if you're thinking of becoming a furry, I say go for it. Go for you. But she was telling me that if you want to order a full body or just a head and paws, you have to literally measure every little piece of your body, because they're gonna ask you like, all right, how many inches is your feet? How many centimeters is your arms? How big is your head? They're gonna like literally ask you your entire freaking body measurements, just so you actually get the suit the way you like it, the way you want it. Because to believe it or not, I actually tried to put on her mask or helmet, whatever you want to call it. That thing was way too fucking small on my head.
So they're all custom tailored to you.
Yeah,
All
they're
custom.
literally custom.
And that's probably another reason why they're so expensive, is because they're all fucking tailored. Like,
Yeah, like you're hiring a fucking professional when it comes to making the suit.
Well, like the first time when you go and get a suit fitted for you, they cost more than just getting it off the rack.
Because you're just like trying to make it sure it fits you perfectly. It doesn't fall off. It's not too big. It's not too loose. You know, like you gotta make sure it's like the right size. And if it's not the right size, then it's like, oh boy, we'll have to make you a new one, and that's gonna cost you more.
And I think it's kind of like, it's how do I say this? I want to say it's a bit risky when it comes to making one, because it's literally just like a suit. So like, you know, you're buying yourself an expensive suit, but like, what if like years later, you know, you start losing weight, you start gaining weight, all of a sudden that suit no longer fits. So now you gotta spend another 10 grand for a whole new freaking suit.
it's a sad day when you can't fit in your first suit.
Oh no, my suit doesn't fit. Now I have to spend another 5 to 6 years just to retailer it and make it fit again. And then next thing you know, it's not gonna fit anymore because I gained so much weight. It's gonna suck.
I'm not trying to body shame anyone. I hope nobody doesn't take that as a body shame. Like,
I'm not
hey,
body shaming.
Just like, hey, you know, do you, but still at the exact same time, take care of yourself.
I'm just
So
saying it just
basically,
sucks.
when you get your suit, you gotta make sure you maintain that weight.
Basically.
stay how you are, like
So if you're like a chubby dude or a chubby person, you know, get a suit, stay chubby.
or a skinny twig.
Skinny twig, yeah, stay skinny.
So yeah, this is the reason why I wanted to talk about this. Is because more and more the furry community has been getting a bad rep, because, like I said, that YouTube channel, it's literally nothing but a group of people getting together like, oh, can animals give consent when it comes to BDSM? I'm like, no, they're fucking animals. And it's like, and that's when they're like, you guys just don't understand. We're furries. This is what the furry community wants. It's like, no, this is not what the fucking furry community wants, like, at all. It's like, for example, I don't know if you follow the
I need to not lean on the table.
Calm down.
Over here throwing shit. Just slamming things.
They're just start making it seem like, oh shit, there's one of them right now.
God
Over
damn
here
it.
flipping the table and
Ready,
shit.
let's go.
So, they're in the walls.
They're in the goddamn walls.
So, like I was saying, do you follow a lot of people on TikTok, or you just go on it and watch people and do stupid shit?
I spend most of my time on the For You page.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, I spend more time than I care to admit checking out Thirst Trap TikTok, so...
But, so, there was this one...
TikTok.
Huh?
That's like, what's a TikTok?
Not gonna lie, I go to TikTok for the titties.
just a lowly guy. Just want to see some free tits, you know?
Alright.
There's actually, there's a trend. I don't know if you guys seen this trend.
Oh, the little nipple thing?
Yeah, where
Yeah.
they actually show, like, a fucking titty.
And they'll do it, like, in reflections and shit like that, too. They'll just have their whole tits out on TikTok.
It's like, I'm just like, okay, let me get this straight. You guys took my video down because I had a toy knife, yet this girl is literally flashing her tits and there's nothing going on.
Or you take a video down because, you know, I'm wearing a sports bra, yet I see these freaking idiots, you know, just flashing the camera with their tits out and all that stuff. It's like, oh, that's fine.
It's fine.
Or they'll, like, walk past the camera at the back of a dark room with their shirt off or some shit like that.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
They're gaming the algorithm because, the whatever, just kind of sees the big picture, doesn't see, like, all the details, so...
Right. So, rewinding a few steps, there is this TikToker, I always forget her name. It's like something Hawk or Hawk something. When she first started out, it was mostly about her bearded dragon, and that's where all her fans were coming from. Do you know who I'm talking about? That bearded dragon girl? And then she came out as a furry.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So I follow her on Twitter, and, you know, she's always posting, you know, furry stuff and her furry suits. She actually has like 5 of them. So, yeah, I'm like, if one of them costs like $15,000, imagine how much 5 of them are.
Maybe starting that TikTok money, huh?
No, she admits it. She was like, "Oh yeah, I get majority of my money from OnlyFans."
Okay, there you go.
I do as well.
But so I got a little confused. So she's a furry, and she is against like those furries that have sex with actual animals.
Mm-hmm.
She is against that, which is really great. I was like, okay, good. I'm glad she's one of those people.
Mm-hmm.
So she also followed this other girl. She hasn't really come out as a furry, but she does draw like furry stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if you want to call that as a furry person.
Well, I mean, if that person that they're drawing the furry is like a character that they see as themselves.
No, like she just does it for fun or for art. Like she just draws furries.
Well, if she does it for fun, then she's not really like a furry. She would support and all that stuff because she's drawing.
So
and
is
all
a
that
furry
stuff.
just like a person who dresses up in
A furry is a
fursuit?
person that basically dresses up in an animal outfit. It's
Yeah.
someone who
And
draws.
do they
and,
identify as humans or do they identify as
however
an
they
animal?
want to identify. If they want to identify as like a dog, then they identify as a dog. If they are a furry and they want to identify as a human, they
Now,
can
does that
identify
play
as a
into
human.
the whole animal zoo, whatever it's called. You want to do
I suppose. I mean,
because if you identify, for example, as a dog, wouldn't that in their mind give them justification to like want to do a?
So
I think that's probably where like it weirds some people out because
it's hard to understand like with
Yeah.
people when it comes to like saying like they identify as a furry. So would that result in them saying like they're actually an animal or they're just acting like an animal?
you're
So
right.
it's a little confusing to know like me, like I have friends that say that they are furries, they act like furries, but they can identify as furries, but they're still human underneath that mask and all the stuff that they wear.
Right.
It's like if the person says like, okay, I'm a furry, I identify as a furry, I consider myself as an animal, then you would understand like, okay, so you prefer to be called as like an animal rather than a human being, or you prefer
Right.
to be called as someone who dresses up as an animal but still refers to as a human.
And there are a lot of people, at least a lot of the furries that I met, that it's not like the whole gender aspect of things. Like that's not their identity. That's just kind of a hobby of theirs, and that's why like their fursona is a completely different entity from themselves.
Yeah,
like,
it's like a different person that they have of themselves that still shows more about who they are rather than just them saying like, oh, I am this person, so I'm a dog,
Okay, that's what I guess was wondering, like if it has to do with the whole like gender issue and stuff.
Right.
And that's what they identify as.
No, it's more of just like whatever you identify as, stay like how you are. You don't identify as like gender wise towards like animals and stuff. Unless if you want to, then that's your choice.
Here's what I think about furries.
Just don't be weird about it, I guess. Don't
Yeah,
find out.
I'll
Yeah,
say
don't
like,
be
hey,
weird about it.
I'll say like, hey, just leave the real animals alone. Don't fucking like do stupid shit or anything. They're just
That YouTube
animals.
channel you were talking about.
Yeah.
did
like-
you know that it took until the mid-2000s for Washington State to outlaw bestiality? Basically, it took a dude getting fucked to death by a horse for them to outlaw bestiality.
I heard of that one.
Oh my god!
I heard of that one. I was like, what the fuck?
I mean, do you not know that like a horse is like almost twice your size? So a grown ass man getting like with this horse is like he's gonna die from it. Like that should explain like, hey, like we don't want this in our state.
That'd be a horrible way to die. Like, could you imagine getting your organs rearranged by a horse cock? Like, what the fuck?
It just sounds uncomfortable.
I think I've seen organs being rearranged on the hubs.
My stomach is up towards my heart. I don't think that's where it belongs.
So, if anyone were to ask me, like, hey, can you define what a furry is? This is what I would probably tell them. I was like, a furry is someone who dresses like an animal, and I think the reason why they dress as an animal is because deep down they just want to dig out their animal instincts or, their animal-like trait. And this is the best way they can express it.
Yeah, I could kind of agree that that's how it is. I mean, mine's kind of a little similar, but it's more just like I see furries as like someone that you like dress up as something that you really want to like try out or be, because like you might have something that's like, oh, like I'm a fox, I want to express like how my energy is like towards a kind of fox. So it's like energy wise or like how their personality is towards that animal.
When I first heard about furries, I didn't really think too much about them. I just thought like, hey, you know, it's just a bunch of people dressed as animals. They're not really fucking doing anything. And I'll see like YouTube videos of like, you know, people making death threats towards these people, and they're like, I'm gonna fucking murder you, or you should not fucking exist. And it's like, damn, dude, where the hell is all this anger coming from? They're just
dressing up as like what they want to be. Like when I first saw them, I kind of thought it was a little weird because I was like, okay, wait, they're dressing up as like animals. But then when I started to understand more and get more personality towards it, I was like, okay, I'm starting to understand it. Like be like, oh wow, like you want to be an animal? That's cool. That's great. Can you tell me more about it? Can you tell me how you like work with like suits and stuff? Because there's a lot of ways like people say like, oh, like a furry suit tends to get hot, so they find ways to like try to keep their body cool down when they're at like cons and stuff, because it does tend to get a lot hot and sweaty and smelly in there, and it's not fun when you're just walking around.
How do you wash a suit?
I think you would have to soak it.
I would say dry clean.
It would be either dry clean or you could just soak it in like warm water and soak.
I can't imagine
stuff.
after like a long day, especially out here in the Arizona heat, you know.
Yeah, it gets fucking hot. It's starting to get hot, but we're not even where the maximum of heat kicks in.
I mean, some people have like ice little vest things that they put, and they'll like rechange like their ice things so that it keeps them cool. Some people have like air things in their like heads
Little
and
fans.
stuff, like little fans and all that stuff. Yeah, to like keep them cool.
Yeah.
I find it interesting though. That
And
they find
some
ways.
people, they go fucking beyond than what you can imagine. Like when you see a furry, you know, you see them, animals, whatever. But some people, they will customize the shit out of their suit. Like, it's like, oh, my furry, they can blink their eyes. Mine can actually have their lips move. Like, they go beyond when it comes to their costume.
Yeah,
dedication.
that's crazy. Seeing the actual eyes like blink, mouth moving when they're talking.
And
That's crazy.
And I think that's where it starts getting like, you know, 20 grand or 30 grand when you start customizing to shit like that.
It's like, shit, alright, calm down, Jim Henson.
Oh, it's moving.
Turning yourself into a fucking Muppet over there.
Is he talking or is he just motorizing?
Now we just need a rich person to begin to become a furry, and then they'll have like a cooling system.
All right, where are you rich people at? Let us get us a furry suit.
So, here's my final thoughts. Like, hey, you know, if you want to be a furry, just go ahead and be a furry. Do you, be you. You only get one chance of life. Live happy. You know, you don't want to fucking end up regretting like, oh, there's so many things I want to do, but I was scared of society, you know, making me feel bad about it. It's like, hey, let me ask you this. Let's say you die. Who's gonna care like 5 years after your death?
Nobody
Nobody.
don't give a
Nobody.
shit.
Exactly.
You'll be dead. 5 years, you're just forgotten.
Exactly. Like, they'll probably remember you, but at the end of the day, they're gonna majority keep living their life. So, you know, live your life. Don't do harm. Don't be hurting people. Don't be hurting animals. As long as it's safe, as long as, you know, there's no harm, just do you. That's what my thoughts are.
Yeah, do what you feel doing with. Like, if you want to dress up as an animal, go ahead. Like, I would 100% come up and hug you if you were in an animal suit. Like, I love fur. Like, anything that's soft and smooth, I love it. I'll, like, hug you and I just won't, like, go. But, no, do whatever you want to do. Like, dress up how you want, do whatever you want, you know, all that stuff.
I think a lot of people are just scared of shit they don't understand. Like, I've seen a lot of hate for drag queens lately, and they're talking about, like, you shouldn't be able to, like, perform this sort of sexualized shit in public and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, bruh, have you ever been to a drag show? Like, if you ever saw a drag queen and got horny, like, you're fucking, there's something wrong with you. Like, they're not meant to be sexual. Like, it's meant to be, like, most of them are just fucking lip syncing different songs. Like, it's meant to be fun and entertaining.
They want to show like the good sides of them. They want to, you know, dress up, put a lot of makeup on. You know, they want to look good in a way that they see themselves as. You know.
And then
You
they're
know what the funny part about all peoples who like tend to be mad about like drag queens and stuff, they dress up their daughters in like makeup and shit, like in beauty pageants and stuff. Like, that's not being weird.
I think honestly, I think that should be illegal now. Like
Putting
the kid beauty pageants. That shit's weird.
it's exactly, and
weird.
some of the moms and dads they go way too fucking far on that show. And it's like, for example, I actually seen this on YouTube, like top 10, pageant moms, worst pageant moms or whatever. So there was this little girl. I want to say she was probably like 3 or 4 years old, barely even started to walk.
Already beautying her up with the
Exactly,
shit.
putting makeup on, and she was throwing a fit. Well, I don't want to say she was throwing a fit, but obviously, she was crying and yelling like something that she doesn't want to do this, and the mom excuse was like, "Oh, she's just cranky, she's just tired. Let's give her some Mountain Dew." I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And what's even worse was like, so yeah, the baby was crying. She was kind of like twitching or throwing her body everywhere, and she did it to the point that she actually accidentally banged her head on the wall. And the mom, she literally did not fucking care about that. She was just like holding onto her head, like, "Oh, it's okay, you're about to be next." And it's like, are you fucking kidding?
Like,
This is why like this shit should not exist.
Like, take care of your kids, please. Don't just like put them in something that they don't want to do. Because I know shows
There's like
and
a lot of parents who just want to mooch off their kids. You exploit them for whatever. You got like
Yeah.
on YouTube, like you got like content families like that comes out that they're just exploiting their kids for like views and whatnot.
I honestly believe that shouldn't exist either. Like family YouTube.
Oh yeah, YouTube
Yeah.
families.
YouTube
Oh my
families
gosh.
and all that stuff. They
Like the
just
worst. Leave kids alone. Let them be kids.
let them do what they want to do.
I
Kids
don't
are
know.
kids for only a short amount of time, and then they grow up, and then they can't do what they want to do because their parents are like, you spent your whole childhood, just doing like YouTube. Like, you'll grow out of it. Get a job. Have that all kind of life. Like, thanks.
I don't know which channel it was, but there was actually a channel where like, it's a family. They're all playing Nerf guns, and in the video, it looks like they're having the time of their lives. Like, okay, yeah, this actually looks fun. But years later, the kids are grown up, and they actually confess, like, oh yeah, when we made that video, we were fucking starving, we were dehydrated, and we were not allowed food or water until we did a good job on that video.
This actually kind of reminded me of like how with Mr. Beast and all that stuff. I don't know if you guys know about Mr. Beast and everything like that.
People have been complaining.
People have
that,
been complaining how Mr. Beast treats them. Like, he's different on camera. Like, he'll be all this like energetic and all this stuff, and the next thing you know, it's like people are like complaining that they're hungry, and he's just like, calm down, like relax, like you'll be fed, all that kind of stuff. That's like, that's not okay. Like, you're putting these people at risk of like starvation. You're not feeding them properly. You're not giving them like what they want to have. It's like, first off, you're faking how you are
right.
in front of a camera versus how you are off camera. Like, don't do that.
Yeah, it seems like it's been coming out a lot about stuff like that recently. So when you see like a 10-minute video, apparently it takes like 10 hours to like shoot and everything, and like you gotta be I don't know, they don't let you eat. You've seen that also in the porn industry too, where like women are coming out and saying like, oh, for this 10-minute video it's like 20 like hours or whatever, and they're treating us like shit. And you got like the Mr. Beast too, Yeah. And then you got the what was it, that on Facebook and those good feeling videos, Darman or whatever.
Darman,
Have you heard about that?
I have, yeah.
I haven't.
Where like they're actors saying that they're barely getting paid a living wage and they're working long hours, and
And they're just doing scripts that they're, doing, trying to show off and stuff, and it's just not okay. And
apparently I guess like all video now is just exploitive, I guess.
I never heard that about Darman
But,
before, with the whole minimum
I
wage
do
thing.
I do believe that is real because one of my most well, not anymore, it's not, but when I first did TikTok, one of my most favorite video was like an ice cream skit. The audio was like a minute long, but it actually took me like fucking 2 hours to do because I was playing as 3 different people, so I was always like changing costume. Okay, let me
Yeah.
see if this is correct.
I
Let me
know
see
how
that.
that feels.
And there'll be times where I'll be making the video and I'm like, fuck, I forgot to change my shirt, and then I gotta redo it.
Yeah, that's hard with like scripts and all stuff because if you're doing me, because I've been there like that before. But I also had to do skits where it's like you have to try to play like a 1 second clip, and it's like you have to make it perfect. And if it's not perfect, you have to keep redoing it. Like me personally, when I do TikTok videos, they take me more than probably like 20 minutes to actually get it like how I want it. And then people are like, why are you not making videos? Oh, because I have to do all this details and I have to make it look good and all stuff, and I can't do that if it's like terrible or if it looks bad or just, I can't.
That was one of the things that I liked about live performances and like working with that sketch comedy group. Like, if you fuck up, you just have to roll with it. Like,
Yeah,
you don't get the opportunity to like freak out and like, oh shit, I did this. Oh shit, like you just have to roll with it. Like,
This is like even with like plays and all that stuff. Like if you do something wrong, like you gotta like get yourself back up and like continue with the thing, because it's like, oh my goodness, you messed up on a step and all that stuff. I've been in plays, I've been in like dance rehearsals and stuff. I've seen people mess up. I've seen people not doing it. They still kept going. Like I was like, oh my god, like that's not how you do the move, but hey, you managed to like get yourself back on track,
And believe it or not, it actually happens in movies too. You said you've seen Napoleon, right? Have you seen it?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen it?
No.
So you remember that dancing skit they had to do to run for class president?
yeah.
His entire dance was actually not the way that he was supposed to do it. It was actually what is it? What is that word called? It was
Improvise?
yeah, improvised. His entire dance was actually improvised. That entire scene was by accident. And the director was like, you know what? Keep it. I loved it. I love the way you did. Let's fucking keep it.
I mean, there's a lot of actors that actually improvise. They'll actually, I think there was like the Joker one. I think there was like
The fucking button with the hospital?
yeah, that
Yeah,
one.
that was
or the
actually-
one, I think he was like in this room with like people, and he goes to grab like this girl, and she's freaking out, and it's like, oh my god, I've never seen like him with the makeup or anything. It's called like it's like you gotta be creative,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually improvised too.
That was 100% improvised.
I got a quick question for you guys. So, let's say that you guys were in a movie and you guys, in the scene, you guys are holding on top of the building, and then, obviously the scene is that you fall into your death. So, would you get pissed that, that's your scene, and the director or whoever has a button to like click and they drop it, but they'll like give you a warning, like, all right, we're going to drop you in 3, 2, 1, and then drop you. Would you guys get pissed if, they're gonna be like, all right, we're gonna drop you in 3, click, and then it's automatically drop.
Oh
Is
yeah,
there a crash
no.
pad underneath?
Well, yeah, there's a crash pad, but like,
I mean, it'd be terrifying because I don't even know how far you're falling. Like, let's say for an example, you're falling like 15 feet from the air. That's terrifying. Like, you don't know where you're coming
upset
from.
But then I might listen to more real reaction.
Wee!
Because-
Going down
because
the
there's actually been a couple movies that
Because you're like preparing yourself.
yeah.
It's just,
And
I got
then
this,
all
I
of a
got
sudden,
this, I
so,
got
like,
this.
so
Oh,
Yeah.
you forget everything, and then you just
It's just
act
like,
really,
alright, ready,
that's
guys?
really you screaming instead of just you like fake screaming.
You should just be like, all right, I got this, I got
Because
this. It's like,
no, there actually has been movies that the director has done that. Like, there'll be somebody hanging onto the ledge. It's like, all right, we're gonna drop you in 3, click. So like
Whee!
their face when you're watching them fall, that's actually their general like, oh fuck, I'm scared face.
Yeah, we're gonna do it in 3, 2, 1, and then we're gonna drop it like 3, 2, bam. What? You lied.
That's
Alright.
funny. I actually, when I got my, I think it was my lip piercings done. The tattoo artist that did them did it like that. He was like, "All right, I'm gonna stick it through in 3." Chick. I was like, "You son of a bitch!" Like, I'm glad you did that, but you son of a
I
bitch.
feel like that's what they do with like anything. Like if you're like in the hospital and you're getting like a needle thing, they'll be like, okay, I'm gonna stick it in like 3 and like 1, 2, and then they'll do it and be like, how dare you? You lied. I appreciate that you were just like 1, 2, and you did it. I was like, okay, but you lied.
All right, so we're gonna get back in schedule. So what we were just talking about, this was just all random bullshit. But hey, you know what? I like it. I like it that we talk about just random
It's
stuff.
funny.
It is funny.
We're
So-
talking about furries.
So, well, I said my piece about furry community. What do you guys have any final words about the furry community?
It's just when he said it's furries, I just started laughing. What are we talking about again? Furries. Oh yeah, I
Freaking
forgot.
furries. We're talking about freaking furs.
That's the freaking furs.
Yeah, the furries.
Like, what is your guys' final thoughts about them? Like,
Well, I didn't really thought much about furries. I was just like, they're just people who dress up as animals, get a lot of hate, don't know really why.
Ignore the hate. If you dress up as a furry, ignore the hate. If you dress up as you want to do, ignore the hate. Just ignore it.
okay, so
Don't listen.
So the next topic I wanted to talk about is Twitch streamers, and the reason why I want to talk about this is that is because there's been a lot of bad things that Twitch streamers do. For an example, I don't know if you guys heard of this story. So there was this Russian Twitch streamer, and he was just doing whatever. People were tipping him, and out of nowhere, his pregnant wife came in. And for whatever reason, the people in the comment section were like, oh yeah, put her out on the balcony. And this was like during winter time, so it was like below freezing. And as he, threw her out there, locked the door, and people in the comment section were like saying like, hey, the longer you leave her out there, the more we'll start tipping it. They were like tipping him money after money, and you gotta think, she was barely wearing anything. Like, all she had was like sweats and a t-shirt on. That's all. And she was basically out there in the cold, below freezing.
That's fucked up.
It is
That is
fucked up.
fucked up.
I've heard about it before where it's, just leaving her out there. I didn't know she was pregnant. That's
Yeah,
the
she
one thing I
was.
did not know.
Yeah,
is that
she was pregnant.
But just leaving her out. I don't even know, like, how
And-
cold it was out there. Probably, like, freezing. Maybe, like, I'm going to say, like, in the negatives, probably.
It was below zero. Like, it was snowing outside too.
And, and you're just walking out there with, like, a t-shirt and sweatpants.
I want to say
You're
like,
going to freeze to
like,
death.
she was like out there for like an hour or so. I don't know, but somehow he didn't go to jail for it. I don't know why. Like, somehow he convinced the cops, or he did something that made him look innocent. Which is like, I don't know how you can look innocent.
I
doing
feel
that.
like he convinced them and saying like, oh, like she agreed to this or something like that. I feel like that's what he was saying. Like we had consent from her. She was okay with this.
Yeah, that or which the good old classic, just a prank, bro.
Yeah.
It's just a prank, bro.
But another thing I want to talk about was I don't know if you guys seen this, but I've seen it like a lot. Some of these Twitch streamers, they think they're fucking gods.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they go off on their chats if someone says something like, hey, why'd you do that this way? They'll be like, I did this way, how dare you? Blah blah blah. I'm the greatest, whatever. You're a trash. You're a loser. You'll never be nothing. I got a lot of money. Look at all my money.
Okay.
And then like I'm banning you for life. I'm like, okay, dude, calm the fuck down. You
What's
ain't
that gonna show? Like, okay,
Right.
cool, great. You got cash, you got money. You're like, okay, that doesn't make you cool. That doesn't make you look better. That's just gonna have people hate you and then
That
be like,
makes
wow.
you look like an asshole. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, in a way, I kind of want to say, like, people should not really pay these kind of people. Like, for example, when COVID-19 hit, obviously, people were losing their jobs. People had to hold on to every single penny they have.
Yeah.
And then
And-
we started launching the Twitch channel, and small channels started getting big, and it was going over people's heads.
Mm.
Yeah.
So there was this one lady, for whatever reason, she thought she was a god, and she did a live stream saying like, I don't understand why you guys are not tipping me anymore. I understand COVID-19, but come on, it's like, if you go to Subway, a foot long is like $10. You could at least give me like $5, and
I've seen that clip, and then somebody right after that, they put a clip of this. I'm subbed to him. I should know what his name is, but he's from New Zealand. He's Maori, and he does like Maori wood carving. Mm-hmm. And somebody tipped him like right after. So they showed the video, the like stuck up bitch complaining about like people not tipping enough. And then they showed a video of him. Somebody had tipped him, and he's like, "No, you don't have to do that. Is there any way I can give it back?"
Yeah, I saw that. He was actually a really nice dude. Like, he was just like, no, I'm not doing this for you guys to give me money. I just want to show you guys.
Yeah.
But
Two different types of people on Twitch.
You have the good people that are just like, oh, like they get something and they're like, oh my goodness, thank you for all that stuff. Like this goes on with like whatever you play or all that stuff. Or you just have like these like assholes that just like, you know, it's just like, oh.
For them, it's just a cash grab.
Yeah, it's just give me all your money, you know, like, or I'm gonna come to your house and, you know, I'm gonna rob you and all that stuff. And it's like, all right, you're just gonna get the police involved, but you know.
And you know what? You know what's fucking funny? That lady I was just talking about? The way she was sitting, she was like sitting on her bed. She has like all these stuffies, and she was like dressed up. Like basically, she made it look like she was a millionaire or whatever. And people were like making comments. They're like, "Dude, you gotta understand, we're right now living in a pandemic. We can't give away money." And she was like, "Why are you bullshitting? Don't be fucking bullshitting." And you know, there's actually backlash on her, and all of a sudden, she was losing her subscribers. Everyone stopped, you know, dealing with her.
Right.
So she tried to make an apology video. So in the apology, I don't know if you saw the apology video, but in an apology video, she looks fucking completely different compared to that rant she just did. Like instead of in a bed, she was like sitting on a chair. She looked like she was wearing church clothes and she was wearing glasses. Like she really tried to look innocent. She was like, "Guys, I just want to say I'm sorry. I didn't really mean what I said. I understand that, you know, we're living in a pandemic." It's like, dude, if you fucking understand, why the hell are you saying all that shit then?
That's faking.
That sounds scripted. Someone hired a PR firm.
That's faking right there. That just shows that she is just trying to have people be like on her side. No, that's 100%. You're faking it. We already know like how you are and all stuff. You're doing this whole skit and all stuff to have people like feel bad about you and like all that kind of stuff. Be like, oh, we didn't mean that. You know, it's dumb.
Like, you're not sorry, you just got caught up in your bullshit.
Or I seen this this trans person, I forgot what their name was, but basically she did the same thing too. Like she thought she was a god or whatever, and people made a comment. They're like, "Dude, what makes you think you can do this? Like, do you think people are scared of you?" And they're like, she goes like, "Yeah, people should be afraid of me because I can do things." It's like, dude, would you calm the fuck down? So, I don't want to say Twitch should cancel, like, oh, people should get paid. But it's like, these people need to come to the realization, like, you're not going to get money just by playing video games for like 9 to 10 hours a day or whatever.
Yeah,
that's exactly what they want to do. That's why they're doing it. And then they're all like complaining how like Twitch is changing like how they pay and whatnot. Like, oh, they're stealing money from us. It's like, you're already making lots of money. I mean,
like, then why are you complaining that, you know, Twitch is taking a few dollars off your, you know, actual payment that you got before? Like, they're changing. Things are changing. You can't, like, you know, hate them and be like, oh, they're scamming us, or, you know, they're just taking this away from me because of all this, you know, it's just, it's money. Like, be happy of what you got. Like, you have, like, tons of money, be happy of how much you get. Because if you get freaking, like, someone donates you, like, $10 or $5 or tips you or anything, be thankful. Okay? Like, they decided to give you something that they had to themselves. Like, and you're over here complaining because, you know, you're not getting, like, you know, $25 or $50 of tips and all that stuff from, like, so many viewers and everything.
And I've seen people like that. Like, somebody will tip them $1 and they'll be like, really? That's all you can give me is $1? It's like, oh my fucking god, are you kidding me?
Hey, some people, that's all they can afford. $1's a dollar.
Bro.
Plus, it's not like it's just like you know, a dollar. It's they giving you $1, but they're also giving Twitch some money.
Yeah.
Because you know that they charge tax for that stuff.
Yeah, so if you're giving someone money, like, if you get $1 and then you're complaining about it, like, oh my goodness, like, just know that whatever, like, Twitch is, like, taxing you, you have to pay that much, and then whatever, like, they tax it out, they give it to you. This does it on OnlyFans and all that stuff. Like, if I have a post that's, like, $35 or $20, you get at least, like, $3 to $5 taken off of that, and you'll either get, like, $20 or $30 or $28. Like, they will take a certain amount of tax and all that stuff.
I'm just grateful. Like, I see a chat pop up in my stream. I'm like, hell yeah.
That's the only thing I feel great. You just see one of your friends just comment, like, hey, like, oh my god, it's my friend!
Like, I'm just happy to be here.
Like, I'm just
Honestly, yeah, like, if whenever I do Twitch, I'll just be happy that someone will be watching me, or I'll be like, hey, I just want to, like, No, I didn't.
I pop in there.
Hey, I just wanted to show I'm a fan. Like, oh, hey, how's it going? I hope you're doing good. Hey, I really appreciate you being a fan.
I pop on your TikTok. Like, you'll be live on Twitch, and I'll see you on Twitch. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just pop in, that stuff. And I don't even hear you say, like, did you just come in my TikTok stream? Like, are you in my stream right now? That would be funny.
But, damn, what was I gonna say? I actually met a fan once. I met a fan. This is when I was in Texas, just to do a convention. And it was like an anime convention. And on Saturday, they did an after party. And I was actually with a couple of friends too, so we got some drinks, I didn't drink much, but they were fucking drinking, so they got fucked up. I was just a little faded. So I was like, you know what? We all don't need to get fucked up. I'll at least be the responsible one and watch over you guys. And I was a little drunk, and out of nowhere, we're all dancing, and we stop, to take a break, and out of nowhere, this one guy comes up to me, and he goes, "Are you who I think you are?" And I'll admit, I was kind of being a dick about it, because, again, I was a little faded, but I honestly thought he was asking about my costume, and I was like, well, that depends. Who do you think I am? And he's like, aren't you ALine Mask? And that's when it hit me. I was like, oh my god, yes, I'm ALine Mask. And he was like, dude, I love your videos. I was like, oh my god, it's so nice to meet you.
I would love that to happen to me. Like, if I just go around and people are just like, wait, aren't you like the person? Like, you're Rich Rap, aren't you? You're the one that I've seen like do the videos. And I'm like, yeah. Who's asking? And I'm like, I'm a fan of yours. And I'm like, wait, you are? Like, oh my god, hi. Like, it's just nice to have like fans or just like little things and all that stuff from other people, because it makes them smile. It makes like you smile. It's like, oh my goodness, I have a fan. I have someone that actually like looks up at me and all that stuff. I mean, I have tons of fans on my TikTok, like, and all my fans, like, they support me. They are like, oh my goodness, like, hey, like, if you need someone to talk to, like, I'm here. They enjoy my content. It's like, oh my goodness, you guys are just like.
The only person who watches my shit consistently is like a 10-year-old kid from Norway, so I doubt I'm bumping into him anytime soon.
But that's sweet though, that he's just a little kid and he's just like inspired by you.
Hey man, you got international recognition.
Although,
it's a little kid. He's inspired.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, he hasn't been watching my content a lot lately because so a little bit of story time. I was playing I think I was playing Scrap Mechanic.
Okay.
And I had, this is when I was living with my girlfriend at the time, and we had, I think he was like a little bit over 1 at the time. I had a little toddler with me. And he was like making noise, doing his thing in the background while I was streaming, playing my game. And this little shit, the kid that follows me, he was just like, that kid's annoying, you should eat him against the wall. And I was like, fucking excuse me?
This kid wants to throw some hands.
I was like, bro, I don't know if you know, but that's not okay to say to people. Like,
you should eat that kid off a building. Calm down. We've thought about it, but calm down.
We think of it, we don't say it.
We think of it, we thought about it, we don't do it, we don't say it, we just think about it. Like, if you see a little kid fall, like, if you see a little kid fall and you're over here, like, trying to hold in a laugh, we do it, it happens. The little kid fall.
Get a little plastic fake baby and throw it against the wall. There you go.
That's what I'm thinking of, like, that. What's that little girl when she has the dog? She's just like, give me your fucking money. That's what I'm like seeing, like, in little kids. Just like, all right, we're gonna throw this kid up against a wall.
Okay, so rewinding a few steps. So Twitch streamers, I have a little question for you guys. So I'm pretty sure you guys seen this multiple times. Raging gamers. I've seen like people being banned from Twitch just because they'll be raging gaming, which means they'll be freaking out, they'll be cussing, they'll be breaking their keyboards. Should they really be banned for that? Me personally, I don't think they should be banned for that.
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on how you rage it out, because me personally, when I rage, I tend to, slap my controller around and be like, oh yeah, like go up to the TV and start screaming at them and all that stuff. I mean, I don't know if you heard me last night, but I was screaming at, people teabagging, and I was like, oh yeah, let's teabag, yeah, let's do that, but I mean, I guess it depends because if you're just like, I don't know for an example. I'm gonna say like Mark for an example. Mark Clark. I don't know if you guys know him, but yeah. But I think one of his things that he did, he threw a chair, and he was like raging out because like he couldn't do. I don't know what game it was. It's this. What's that game that he was like playing with the pot and the hammer, and he's like going up all this stuff. I can't remember what it was, but he was playing that game and he was like raging. But I've seen like other people like smash their like keyboards or like start throwing shit and like breaking stuff, and I'm like, all right. And then people are getting banned for it. I'm like, okay, well I can see why you might ban it because you're being a little too aggressive. Maybe like tone it down a bit. Try not to break something because if you break a keyboard, who's gonna have to pay for it?
Well, themselves.
I don't think it's ideal, but I don't like it's fucking America. Like, I don't think you should get banned for raging out on the internet. Like,
I think that's hilarious shit right there.
Funny.
If anything, I'll be going on Twitch more just to see this shit more.
I mean, I laugh at anybody.
I think as long as you don't like break a keyboard on someone's head or throw a chair at
if you're
them.
like threatening another person, like grabbing your controller,
Don't be
like,
violent, basically.
Yeah, but no, like if somebody freak out to the point they grab their keyboard and start slamming on the desk, I just find that shit hilarious.
Because I mean, we've all raged,
It's a common thing. Like we all get mad. We have to express it. We don't want to start screaming. We just grab anything we can. We start throwing it around and like start breaking it.
And I rage all the time because especially when I'm playing FPS games because I like to play Battlefield 2042 a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of the times I'm the only one like running towards an objective. Everyone else is just looking for kills.
Me personally, when I play as killer, I'm always like raging over the fact because I can't hit someone, or they're looping me, or they're stunning me, and then they're at the thing and they're teabagging, and I'm like, you know what? This is just gold to me. Like, go ahead. I know you're like pissing me off, but that was because like you just freaking hit me and shined a flashlight in my face, like But like, go ahead, do it. It's amusing. People want to see, a lot of people get angry and all that stuff. Just don't do it towards other people, and be cautious of what you break, because if you break something and and you question why, like, oh, my controller's not working, or my mouse is busted, or my keyboards are not working, well then you're gonna have to buy a new one.
I've replaced like controls 5 times because when I get angry I just start slamming buttons like
I
pretty hard and
3 controllers. One broke because I broke it up against a wall, and I broke a wall and I broke the controller. The other one that I have, the sound button doesn't work because I broke it and I kept hacking with it and kept messing with it, so I got another one. And the little new one that I have, the little plus button on my Xbox thing, that doesn't work either. So I'm like, great, everything is like breaking and I hate it.
I've never broken like a slow by slamming on it. I just break it because when I get mad, just instead of like pressing buttons, I just start slamming buttons. Like, I'm like, fuck you.
I trained myself not to rage around games anymore because I bought a really high-end gaming PC and I don't want to fuck it up.
Right.
Just get like a, get like a stuffed animal and just throw it around, or just like get like a bad chair and just be like, alright, I hate this chair, god damn it, get out of here.
And so I'm still a filthy console peasant because it's much easier to replace a $60 controller than it is to replace a whole rig.
Or yeah, like a
Like,
30 to 60.
Well, me personally, like whenever I rage, I just start cussing like, I fucking hate him. Why is he still alive?
I hear
I just
them
come
all
up
the
to
time,
these
yeah.
idiots and I'm like, I go on the mic like, hey, my back hurts from carrying all y'all motherfuckers. A lot of the times,
Y'all are heavy.
we'll lose, and I'm like at the top of the leaderboard on my team because I'm like the one who actually goes to an objective to try and take you.
I swear, like some people just don't.
dicking around.
Yeah, let's dig around with the killer. Let's shine a flashlight in their face. Do teabags. Let's stun them. I'm just working on a gen, but you have fun with that because if the killer, camps you, I can see why.
There was one time I got into an argument with an old friend, and this motherfucker was acting like he didn't even know me, and I just got irritated, and he ended up joining into my stream one time, and he went off on this whole, like, rant about shit about, like, how I need to calm down, and how he's, like, basically how I was wrong and he was in the right, and blah, blah, blah. And I was playing Blade and Sorcery at the time, which I don't know if you know, it's like a VR arena fighting game. And so I just got so frustrated with this bullshit while I was playing that, I watched back the video later on and I was like, God damn, you need to calm down. But like, as I was talking to him, I would like, one of the NPCs would come up to me and I'd like grab him and fucking eat him into him. Like, I got super aggressive when I was talking to him.
I'm done with you. Get out.
Like, I just picked one dude up by the throat and fucking chucked him to the edge of the arena.
I'm just thinking of like a DVD character with Wesker when he grabs him with the tentacle or something. I just feel like he just yeets him. Like, he just throws him. Like, if he doesn't manage to get like to a tree or something, he just throws him. It's like, damn, get out of here. Goodbye, I'm done with you.
So, we are reaching the 7-minute mark. So, one more thing I want to talk about before we end this is the new Five Nights at Freddy's movie. It hasn't come out, but
it's still being recorded. But you know, like we're still waiting on when it actually comes out.
So I just want to get your guys' thoughts of what do you think, like, have you guys seen the trailers yet, or have you guys heard of them yet?
I have not. All I know is that it's either going to be good or it's going to be terrible, because you know, when you make a movie out of a video game out of tape.
But you got Shaggy, who is also played as a guy from like Scream and everything like that. He's playing as William Afton. You know how freaking like psycho he is? Like with like any of the horror movies that he's been in, he's crazy. Like that's a perfect fit for him. I can see why they chose him, because it's like, okay, you see Shaggy, he's like this chill dude kind of guy.
Lillard?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But you see him as like the chill 2 guy from like the real, I don't know which, I think it was like the 2000s.
Yeah.
The live action?
The live action.
Yeah,
Matthew Lillard.
With Matthew Lillard, and all that stuff.
He is such a sweetheart. He's such a cool
he's so
dude.
sweet. But then when you've seen him in like, I've seen him in Scream. I don't know if you guys seen him in like the Scream and all that stuff, but I seen him when it was the first ever Scream and how he is, because he's just like who he is and all that stuff. And he has that kind of fear that, you know, is like really, really creepy. And I like it, because I'm like, oh my goodness, they have found the perfect William Afton. And it's this guy right here.
It's always neat when you see actors that are usually like happy and bubbly get into like. Have you ever seen Sin City?
No, I mean, but if you want to tell me about it, go ahead.
Elijah Wood in Sin City is fucking insane because he plays a serial killer. Does not speak the entire movie. And
so he just stands there and kind of, or he does like actions and all stuff, and it doesn't.
One of the creepiest things is whenever he's about to kill somebody, all you see is like the gleam from his glasses in the corner of a dark room.
That's
And like, so spoiler alert, he dies towards like middle endish of the movie.
I mean, that's how most serial killers are. They just die.
Basically, he gets tied to a tree, and the person who kills, like, who wants to kill him, lets his angry guard dogs like gnaw off his legs.
Ooh.
And this motherfucker just stays like grinning, like big old creepy grin on his face with dogs just fucking eating him. Yeah, it's very unsettling.
You see some guy just like, it's just being gnawed off, or he's being stabbed, or he's being cut, and he's just having a big old smile on his face like, are you okay? Did someone hurt you?
That freaking reminds me of, you guys seen it, right? Not the original, but the new one.
I haven't yet. I've been.
Have you seen that one?
No, not yet.
I have.
Yeah. You know the part where that little girl, she went under the bleachers, and that's where they found the clown?
Yes.
And, you know, he basically chops off her face.
When he, does all
So,
that
like,
stuff.
if
That's
you saw the
creepy.
behind the scenes, like, and he goes like, all right, I'm gonna, because she has like a beauty mark, but I guess she was getting bullied about it, so he was like trying to make a deal with her, like saying like, oh, I can make that beauty mark go away. You just gotta close your eyes, and here I go, I'm gonna take it away in 3, 2, and then he just stays quiet, and then the girl, you're supposed to say what? Well, and then behind the scenes, he kind of charges at her, but like, you know, not really, just like grabs her. But after that,
That's how they do it.
yeah, like he just goes 3, 2. You're supposed to say, ah! And then like after that, they're like, "Are you okay? You're good. Okay, good.
You're good.
So it's like, you gotta imagine like this serial killer clown checking up on you, like, "You okay? You're good. All right, you did awesome."
Apparently, Bill Skarsgård loved to fuck with people while they were filming that. He seems like a funny dude. I would love to meet him.
I would love to just be like, tell me how you did with the scene. Like this guy.
So we're almost 2 minutes away. Is there any final words you guys want to say before we end this episode?
Not particularly. I kind of had fun just vibing, riffing, going off of
Just
the.
vibing.
We just
Now we're
vibing,
going
we
to talk
just
about
chilling,
hot tub Twitch streamers too.
What happened?
So I thought we were
yeah.
gonna talk about the
Oh,
hot tub
the hot tub Twitch streamers. Oh my
Yeah, we
god,
said that.
fucking Amaranth.
Honestly, like
I'm gonna
when I
have to
first
do
heard of
that.
Twitch, it's like I thought this was supposed to be a gaming community, and I see
Right.
all these hot tub girls and shit.
And then there's like
Calm down.
And then there's like the over sexualized ASMR stuff too, where they're like licking the mic and
Oh
stuff.
god, where they're just like. It's just so
Yeah,
weird.
like
and they're tapping the mic
tapping
and
it.
everything. It's so weird. It's like, oh my god.
I never really got ASMR. Like, there's the one where it's there's one where it's just, I think it's a TikTok. It's literally just a lady like packing up her groceries, and she just makes a bunch of extra noise while she's putting shit away.
I've seen like most people would do like eating stuff, or I've seen like these dumb idiots just like bashing pans and all that stuff, and they're like, "This is AMR." Like, come on.
Have you seen the little boy one?
I don't think so.
Like, there's this girl, and she brings like her little brother, and they're doing ASMR. So they're doing the clicking and all that stuff. But the little boy, he didn't want to be a part of it, so he thought of an idea that making his sister stop asking. So like she's doing her thing, and his job was like to crack an egg. So what he did was he bashed it on her head, and as she's like, I don't know, he goes up to the mic and goes.
That's great.
It's just a little kid just like, get wrecked on, son.
That's great.
Alright, so final 30 seconds. I just want to say, Twitch streamers, you guys are not gods. You guys are nothing. So people don't owe you shit. Furries, be you. Just don't do harm towards people or animals. And anything else? 10 seconds.
Don't be a dick.
All right. Until